What is going on, PBX community? Welcome to the Dapp Central YouTube channel. My name is Fareed, and it's been a minute since I've done a fully dedicated Paribus update. But as a part of today's video, I've got some breaking news surrounding a bridge which will allow for the Paribus token to be migrated from the Ethereum network over into the Cardano ecosystem. And then we've also got a staking opportunity being a first of its kind in collaboration with DeFi that I want to break down as a part of this video. Now, if it's your first time stopping by the channel, my goal is to provide you and the community with the latest updates in terms of Cardano. And so if you guys appreciate updates like this, please make sure to tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions surrounding Paribus or Cardano, then go ahead and make sure to leave a comment down below. Now, for those of you who don't know, Paribus is going to be a cross-chain platform for lending and borrowing, focusing on fungible assets as well as exotic assets, which include the support of NFTs. They've already launched on Arbitrum, and they've currently got an ongoing incentive program for liquidity providers, and they're now going to be making their migration over into the Cardano network. And so the first thing I want to do is break down the cross-chain collaboration between the ChainPort bridge and the Paribus team, and then I want to dive into a brief article, and then we're going to jump into some updates surrounding the first staking opportunity taking place on Cardano. So it reads here from their official Twitter, and if you're not already following them, make sure to do so at Paribus_IO. We are very happy to be working with ChainPort in our efforts to make PBX cross-chain. For those of you who don't know, ChainPort is going to be a bridging platform supporting multiple or some of the top networks within crypto, including Ethereum, the BNB Smart Chain, Avalanche, Matic, and so many more. Now, they've just recently added support for Cardano, and as a result, we're now seeing bridging being able to come from and going to the Cardano network. So if you hold Paribus tokens, you can now move them from Cardano over into Ethereum, and then you can also do the opposite, which is taking your tokens from Ethereum and then migrating them over into Cardano. So we're going to be taking a look here at ChainPort in just a moment. But before I do that, I do want to quickly touch on this article here, which is labeled Bridging the Gap. Now, this is focusing solely on the recent announcement of the bridge, and I've already kind of done a little bit of reading. So I've highlighted some of the key portions and I want to break them down, and then we're going to jump over into the ChainPort app. So after many months of discussion, this week's marked a significant moment in the development of Paribus as we launched our partnership with ChainPort and opened the bridge for trading or moving your PBX from Ethereum over into Cardano. Holders of PBX can now execute transactions via Cardano-based DEXs, right, which include MinSwap, SundaySwap, and Wing Riders, marking a new era for our community. If you're not aware, not only is the bridge new news, but we only had the ability to purchase or interact with the PBX version of the token, which was released a few months back. There was just no bridging involved on the Wing Riders DEX. So you can now go ahead and actually trade it on MinSwap as well as SundaySwap. MinSwap being arguably the biggest DEX right now on the Cardano network and holding the most TVL with an ecosystem dominance of around 29 to 30%. So not only do we get the bridge, but you now have the ability to trade the PBX token on multiple DEXs within the Cardano ecosystem. Now, this groundbreaking move swiftly ignited the interest of the Cardano community, with over 1,000 holders embracing PBX on the Cardano network, which is approximately 6% of the total supply, which has now been transferred across into the Cardano ecosystem. Again, I think this is only going to increase given the fact that Paribus has such a huge presence within the Cardano ecosystem. We also actually saw Wilson Davis make a recent appearance on Cardano 360, breaking down all of their latest updates and announcements as a part of that update. So make sure to go ahead and check out those Cardano 360 updates if you missed that last one by Wilson. Now, we're going to be scrolling down a little bit, and the next topic I want to break down is going to be security. As you could imagine, with a bridge, that's going to be one of the biggest things, or one of the biggest concerns, not only from the community, but just from a safety standpoint, right? We've seen hacks, which include the hack of the Nomad Bridge, which had a really big impact on the Wing Riders decks, and they've been recovering ever since. However, I want to break down exactly how the security is done leveraging ChainPort. And to even add to that point, we also just saw the multi-chain bridge go down. They basically had one founder who had all the keys to all the liquidity onto the protocol, and that person was actually arrested not too long ago. And since then, they basically have announced that they're going to be shutting their doors down. So as you can imagine, security is at the top of mind for anybody who might be bridging their token or looking to use a platform like ChainPort. So we've got a brief excerpt here from Bill, who is going to be the manager from the ChainPort side of things. And he basically states the most important thing we do is store most of our funds in cold storage. What this basically means is that this is not going to be in a wallet that is easily accessible. For example, think of cold storage when it comes to holding crypto on a ledger or a hardware device versus a hot wallet, which is connected directly to your browser. Now, on the EVM side of things, the ChainPort team will be using Fireblocks and Gnosis Safe for their funds, and those are going to be the industry standard multi-party computational service, so their funds are safe over there. Now, on the Cardano side, they've got multiple multi-sigs in place that store their balances. If you're not familiar with the multi-sig, it's basically a wallet that requires buy-in or approval from multiple sources before a transaction can be completed. So under normal circumstances, whenever you're signing for something on jpeg.store or just interacting with the DEX, you're the only person who has to sign for that transaction. However, with a multi-sig, more than one people or more than one person needs to actually go ahead and sign. Now, the security of the protocol includes a bridge monitor, providing constant surveillance of asset balances on both ends, which include Cardano and Ethereum, as well as automated systems, which are designed to halt operations at the first hint of discrepancy in any of the balances. Now, this allows for a swift investigation into any issues to occur if something were to be detected. If I scroll down just a little bit, there's one last portion here that I want to break down, which states that the current Cardano and Ethereum bridge is just the beginning of this entire process. Work is currently underway on a bridge from Arbitrum, which they plan to be operational within the coming weeks. Now, whether that's going to be from Arbitrum to Cardano or from Arbitrum to some other network has yet to be seen, but I think that's what makes the most sense right now, given the fact that they've just launched the Ethereum over to Cardano bridge. Now, the partnership with ChainPort also means lower fees, offering welcome relief for those worn down by Ethereum's escalating gas costs. Again, keep in mind that operating on Ethereum uses a fee market versus on Cardano, where there is a first in, first out principle. Now, when bridging at ChainPort, they do take a small fee on each transfer, which is about 0.3% of the token. However, if you stake the PortX token, which is going to be the native token for the actual bridge itself, you can then pay for your bridges using PortX instead of the token that you're porting over, and you also get a discount. So if you don't hold any PortX and you are bridging constantly, you may want to look into that, as that might be a viable solution to reduce some of those bridging fees. In closing, as well as being able to store your PBX on Cardano native wallets and trade them on various DEXs, they're also planning on working with ViFi to establish a pool there. This will give people in the community the opportunity to explore passive staking. If you guys are somehow not aware of ViFi, they are the number 3 platform in terms of TVL on Cardano, and they've only been on the mainnet for 2 months. They had a really huge run in terms of adoption as well as price appreciation as soon as they hit on the mainnet. And what it looks like we're going to be seeing is going to be a fungible token staking vault for Paribus. So it states here, Stephen Ward, who's going to be the CEO of ViFi, is slated to provide more details on this special subject via Twitter Spaces arranged for 8 p.m. Eastern on July 17th on the Paribus official channel. So I'll be definitely tuning in for that. I recommend you guys go ahead and do that as well. I've had Steven on the channel here multiple times, and he's a very, very knowledgeable person, not only when it comes to crypto, but other networks including Cardano. Now, the next thing I want to just quickly show is that at the time that this particular tweet was made, and this was back on July 13th, so I think this has probably increased a little bit, we had a total balance of, let's see here, 515 million of the PBX token valued at $650,000 migrated over into the ChainPort vault. So about 5.5, potentially 6% now at the time of shooting this video, which has been ported over into the ChainPort vaults. Now let's quickly actually take a look at ChainPort. You can find out more about ChainPort by heading over to app.chainport.io, and I've already connected my Cardano wallet, but I can choose what token I want to move from, or what ecosystem I want to move from, which again, I've selected Cardano. We've got a ton of others here, including Ethereum, BNB, Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom, Fuse, Moonriver, and so forth. And then I want to move that over into Ethereum, or I could do the opposite, right? I could actually switch over from the Ethereum community over into Cardano. So let me actually put this back to normal. I'm going to be switching over from Cardano over to Ethereum. And then if I select the token, we have Copy, Jed, Gens, Horde, and we now have PBX added to that list. So again, congratulations to Wilson, congratulations to Dennis, Simon, and everybody from the Paribus team, which has been working so hard because this was such a huge request coming in from the community. The last time that I had Dennis on my channel, this was one of the biggest questions that I had coming in from the community. And he'd mentioned during that interview that they were working on a solution. So I'm happy to see this here. And I think this is only the beginning for ChainPort in their collaboration with Cardano projects over the course of the next few months. So that is going to do it there for that very first set of updates. The very last thing I want to jump into is going to be some of the news surrounding DeFi and how you could potentially get access to staking the PBX token, therefore earning some passive income. So as I read as a part of that close of the first article, we will be having the first ever PBX staking taking place on Cardano via DeFi vaults. Again, tune in for Stephen Ward on July 17th. So that is going to do it there. If we head over to app.vifi.io/vaults or select the vaults here on the left-hand side, we've got two types of vaults. One kind of vault is going to be an NFT vault, which is only available for NFTs. And then we've got just a regular fungible token vault, which is where I assume we're going to see the PBX vault staking taking place. A few things to keep in mind is that given how much of the reward they plan on providing to the community, there will be limited availability to join the staking program. So definitely make sure that you're one of the first to go ahead and take advantage of this, because once the staking vault is full, you will not be able to stake your token. In terms of how long, we'll have to wait to see what those details are. But traditionally, we could expect anywhere from 1 month to potentially 6 months that you actually have to stake your PBX token for. I think that is going to do it here for today's video. The very last thing I want to say is that I will be doing an interview here with Dennis and Simon. So if you guys have any questions as to what you guys want me to potentially ask them about, please make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. If you found any part of today's video to be helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could tap that like button. It's one of the easiest ways to support me here on the channel, and it really helps to get this content out to other members within the growing Cardano community. If it's your first time stopping by, consider subscribing for more PBX and Cardano content. And very lastly, if you have any questions for me surrounding Paribus or Cardano, then please make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video.